answering your questions, things you don't understand. Question 1. What would have happened if the asteroid hadn't hit Earth? If the Chicxulub asteroid hadn't struck Earth around 66 million years ago, then the course of evolution would have been very different. Non-aviation dinosaurs probably wouldn't have been wiped out. Oceans would probably still be home to large marine reptiles and very different plankton communities. Mammals may have stayed relatively small for much longer. Without the newly available ecological niches, they probably wouldn't have diversified in the same way, which also means that the evolutionary path that eventually produced primates and humans would probably never have occurred. And although it's possible that intelligent tool-using species could theoretically have evolved, it's extremely unlikely that humans as we know them today would have evolved at all. So I suppose we should commit to being thankful for that asteroid. Question 2, why do autistic people experience communication difficulties? Autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, is a neurodevelopmental condition that affects how the brain processes sensory input and social information, including communication. And there are differences at a neurological level. Communication requires different brain regions and networks to integrate and exchange large amounts of information in real time. During early childhood, the brain goes through a biological trimming process called synaptic pruning, which removes some excess synaptic connections and helps to refine neural circuits. But with autism, this synaptic pruning can be altered, which may contribute to differences in the density of neural connections. And these differences in connectivity may contribute to differences in sensory processing and may also make it more difficult to filter out background distractions. In everyday social situations, that makes it more difficult to engage in fluid back and forth conversation, especially when the environment is overwhelming. And finally, question 3, why are people getting colder? For a long time, the traditional average body temperature was considered to be 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. But this is no longer the case, as human body temperature appears to have declined over the last 150 to 200 years. And today, the average is closer to 97.5 Fahrenheit or 36.4 degrees Celsius. This has puzzled scientists for many years, but now we think we know what's happening. Over the past century, there has been a significant decrease in chronic inflammation and infections. In the 19th century, diseases like tuberculosis, malaria, and untreated minor infections were rampant, and a body that's constantly fighting off pathogens runs at a higher metabolic rate in order to generate immune responses. This raises baseline temperature. Thanks to things like modern antibiotics, vaccines, improved sanitation, and better dental hygiene, our immune systems now spend far less time in a state of high inflammation. Also, our living environments have changed. We now have central heating, air conditioning, and weather-resistant homes, so we spend much less energy regulating our own internal thermostats. A cool explanation, even if I do say so myself. Quick disclaimer, this video was not made using AI. I have covered my research process under the playlist video, How to Find Good Information, and I also have a video on the problem of relying too much on LLMs for information, so do check those out. Keep asking questions and never stop learning.